Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 6 November 2025, Thursday night at 9. Must be time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel. And a knife sale we shall have. And oh, what a knife sale it is. We have miles to go before we sleep, so let's get the housekeeping out of the way quickly. First off, especially if you're new, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale if you'd like to participate. I'm going to post those terms on the screen for you in just a moment. I will also print them in the essential video description on YouTube. Now, also in the description, lots of important stuff, guys. At the very top, you're going to see 3 links to previous videos on this channel. The first one is entitled A Primer for Buyers. That is a 38-minute expanded explanation of those terms of the sale. So if you are new, or even if you haven't looked at them in a while, give them a look. Because every once in a while I update them, and being familiar with those terms will be extremely important. The second link is to my FAQs for Consignors video. That is an explanation of how things work from the consignors perspective. So if you're interested in moving along some of your collection using this weekly sales event, watch that. The third link, as always, is to my rates and services video for the TheApostleP Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. And just so you know, backlog is low. So if you've got dull knives, and I know you do, time to send them in, boys. And prices, as most of you know who use my service, a few months ago were reduced to the pre-Biden-inflation levels of 2019. Okay, so you've got those 3 links at the top of the description, then the terms of the sale. At the bottom, you're going to see the list of tonight's inventory, the reason that you all showed up tonight. That list will include timestamps down the left side and pricing down the right. Now, in the pricing column, you will generally see 2 numbers. The one to the left of the slash is the price of your knife as shown in the video. Price on the right is your price as sharpened by the TheApostleP Knife Service. There will be next day sharpening this week for the first 4 knives purchased to be sharpened. They will ship tomorrow the 7th with all of the as shown inventory. If you fall outside the first 4, not to worry. Just going to have a couple weeks to wait. Now, if you see the word sold in all caps with an exclamation point, that means the knife you're looking at in the list has been bought and paid for by its new owner. So there's no need to send an I'll take it or an inquiry about any item marked sold. That is it for the preliminaries. Let's get the terms up on the screen for you, and we'll be right back with the sale. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First, we have some leftovers to clear up from last week's sale. First among them is from Jake Hoback. No box, no wooden box, just a pouch for this one. But we do have the COA of the Black Stallion Workhorse, designed in conjunction with Alpha Hunter Tactical Design. Here is the beauty. Now this is in the Battle Worn finish, which is like a dark gray PVD that's been, let's say, it's been given the Boba Fett treatment, so to speak. Looks like with Scotch-Brite or something similar. You have a CPM crew wear blade, 3 inches in length. You got a 4 5/8 inch all titanium handle. It is a titanium frame lock knife with a steel lock face insert and what appears to be the Hoback rolling detent. Pocket clip is titanium. It is ambidextrous tip up. There is your lock engagement. Knife rides on ball bearings. Nice lock bar tension, by the way. Rock solid lockup. Superb flipper tab. And the centering on this one is perfect. We'll call it near mint, no box. These are out of stock. Haven't made them in a while. When they were available, they were $800 web retail. One recently sold at Arizona Custom Knives for $565. That's the only pre-owned price reference I could find. We ran this one last week at $495. Didn't sell, dropped it to $450 for the weekend. This week's price, $425 like it is. $450 with my edge on that Crewwear Tonto blade. The Black Stallion Warhorse from Jake Hoback. And then next up, we have a little EDC fixed blade from Osprey Knife and Tool. It is wearing a beautiful black Diomedes clip sheath with like a beige stitching. Here is the little beauty, crafted in CPM 154. We have a 2 3/8 blade with some, let's call them faux forging marks on the flats. Grinder satin blade. Looks like, I don't know, 100,000 stock probably. The Osprey Knife and Tool Maker's mark is on the spine. OD green canvas micarta scales, black pin and lanyard tube, blue liners, and a tapered tang. What a little darling that is. 2 3/8 blade, 3 11/16 handle. These are available to be purchased new from Osprey's website for $280. Not sure if the standard configuration gets you a tapered tang, but anyway. Plus the cost of the sheath, which I believe was purchased separately. We ran this knife last week at $195 on Thursday, dropped it to $180 for the weekend. This week's price, $170 like it is, $190 with an ApostleP edge, and next day sharpening is available. That is the Tusk from Osprey Knife and Tool. Next up, we have a leftover I did not expect to be left over. It is from Escanaba, Michigan, USA. Bark River Knives was the manufacturer, the designer. From just up the road in Rapid River, Dan Tope of D-Tope Knives. This is the Bark River Bravo Tope Recon in green canvas micarta with orange liners. You could see that retail price on the box. That always makes the retailers look good. They're never quite that much. This knife would have sold for about $350 web retail. It comes in an absolute leather engineering marvel. This is the Jenna Martin Skinbender Leatherworks designed sheath, produced by Bark River, right in the knife factory, by the way. What makes these cool, I think, the best thing is this flap that protects your handle from the snap. They're always tight. Let's see. Oh, there we go. So you can press as hard as you want. You're not going to damage your handle. Then you can set this up for scout carry. I don't know what that little loop is for. Jenna, help me. Or belt carry, right? And then here is the knife. Oh my. Gorgeous harpoon clip, gorgeous fuller, crafted of CPM 3V, convex saber ground. You got some, looks like evidence of batoning with this knife, like it cares, right? You got 7.5 inches of blade. That looks like maybe 3/16 stock. Handle is 5 3/8 and polished OD canvas micarta and orange liners. You've got a lanyard hole, you've got a lanyard hole in the tang, and you've got some very interesting and rather sharp jimping on the back of that. We'll call the condition excellent to near mint. This knife would have sold new from the mid-3s. We ran it last week at $250, didn't sell. Went to $225 last weekend. This week's price, $210. Guys, that is a buy, I'm telling you. And $240 with my edge. That is the Bark River Bravo Tope Recon. Next up, we got a Benchmade automatic with no box. It comes in a sacrilegious pouch. It is the model 3375GY Mini Claymore out the front automatic. It is handled in black grivery. It is super light for an auto knife. You've got the Parkerized butterfly stamped deep carry clip that looks like it is, well, it doesn't, it's ambidextrous because the whole knife is, right? It's completely symmetrical because you have a blade in CPMD2, and you guys have heard me sing the praises of CPMD2 before. It is the analog of CTS XHP by Carpenter, but Carpenter was smart enough not to call it D2. Anyway, you've got a smoke gray PVD double-edged blade, 2 15/16 inches in length. The handle is 4 1/8, so actually pretty good blade to handle ratio for an OTF. Button effort is medium. Reliability is 100%. We'll call it near mint, no box. This model is currently available to be purchased new. Your online price for a new one will be $350. We ran this one at $225 last week. Didn't sell, dropped it to $195 for the weekend. This week, $180. No need to sharpen, by the way. All it does is pierce. That is the Mini Claymore from Benchmade. Next, I think you guys are napping on this one. This is the Hinderer XM18 3.5 inch slicer non-flipper stonewash blade, stonewash titanium bits, OD green G10 scale. The slicer ground, I guess it's a slicer ground spear if you want to be technical, right? Probably a Gen 4. I'm not the best Hinderer generation historian, but non-steel inserted titanium frame lock, Teflon washers, right-hand tip-up, tip-down clip. All the hardware is bright. There's your lock engagement. It is beauteous. It is rock solid. No stick. There's just something about those old Teflon washers. They're so smooth. Centering is squared away. Sterile blade, okay, not an etch or a stamp or an engraving on it. But my seller tells me it's 20 CV. No box, no paperwork, no peanuts. These are, of course, out of stock. They're long discontinued. We ran this one last week for $325. It did not sell. Dropped it to $295 for the weekend. It is still here. Can be yours this week for $280 like it is $305 with an Apostle P edge. And next day sharpening is available. That's the XM18 3.5 inch slicer, non-flipper, sterile from Hinderer. That, my friends, will do it for the leftovers. So on to the fresh stuff. And the first one is rather interesting. No box, comes just in a plastic bag. It is from CRKT, and it's designed by Ken Onion. And I said yesterday in the heads up teaser video, this is the least oniony onion design I've ever seen. So we've got sort of a modified coffin-shaped handle, satin, 3D machined, black G10 scales, a very cool set of almost Geneva striped milled stainless steel bolsters. Pocket clip is black in color. It is ambidextrous, tip up, deep carry with a fill tab. Interesting that they put an oval shield in the knife. CRKT calls this lock the crossbar lock. Looks like a Benchmade axis lock. That can't be a bad thing. And here's how you open it. You pull the lock bar back and it kind of flings by itself. So you just give it a bink. If you do that right, let's see. There you go. You've got a spear point blade. Ground like a double-edged blade, but it's not. But I think there's a little party trick here. Let's see. That spine, no, it does sit proud, so slightly. You don't want to sharpen that back edge. Anyway. It is bladed in CPM Magna Cut, and it's called the K560 KHP Redemption. Don't know what that's about. I don't know what a CRKT or Ken Onion needs to be redeemed from, but it's pretty cool. Kind of got a little Italian stiletto thing going. Lockup is rock solid. It's on ball bearings. The centering kind of blows. And I think that's mostly a factory edge, but I think it might have been touched up. So let's see. We'll call it near mint, no box. These are available new for $275. Probably made in Taiwan. I didn't look it up. Let's go 145 on this one, like it is. 170 with my edge on that Magna Cut blade. That's the Redemption from CRKT. Next up, somebody's going to get a deal here because this is a really special knife, but it comes with no box. And it probably should have a box, to be honest. This is a Bad Monkey from Southern Grind, and it is a rare bird. I think I said yesterday, probably the most rare, most special Southern Grind knife they've ever made. It's got peel ply carbon fiber scales. And when I first looked at it, I thought, man, that's got some pocket wear, but it really doesn't. The peel ply surface is the peel ply surface. It's, you know, kind of textured like a Spyderco, but you still feel the weave. Then the corners are radiused, and it looks like they're burnished from pocket wear, but it's just the way the weave hits the radius. Now, it has been carried. There's a little bit of wear in the liners, which are titanium. You have a black oxide pocket clip that's right hand tip up only. The blade is Chad Nichols Boomerang Damascus, baby. Made in the USA. The blade, 4 inches long. The handle, 5 1/4. Titanium liner lock, locking up just like that. It is dead rock solid, and it has a wave too, by the way. On phosphor bronze, nice and smooth, perfectly centered. So we'll call it near mint, no box. Discontinued and out of stock. When these were available new, they were $390 online price. Can't really find a price reference, guys. They are extremely rare. Let's go $250 like it is. $270 with an Apostle P edge. Next day sharpening is available. Next up, we have a classic from Benchmade. It comes with no box, but the consignor did include a period correct Benchmade belt pouch. This is the 950-1 Rift in all black G10, not the tiger stripe and not the black and gray, the all black. Comes with an ambidextrous tip up, Parkerized split arrow clip with a bit of honest wear. That's why we like the black oxide coating, because it looks beautiful when it gets old. The blade is that Osborne design Rift in 154 cm. Blade length 3 11/16. The handle 4 5/8. Axis lock mechanism, rides on phosphor bronze. Rock solid lockup. Near total free dropping action. Nice fling. Centering on this one. What the heck happened here? What? It's like very, very close. We'll call it excellent to near mint. More excellent, I guess, because, you know, you got some pocket wear. But The blade is pristine. Yeah. Discontinued and out of stock. There's one sold listing on eBay for this exact model, and it was a best offer accepted on a buy it now of $320. I don't know what the best offer was, but it wasn't $320. This one can be yours all in, shipped priority mail, $150 like it is. $170 with my edge. That's the Rift from Benchmade. Next, we have another Benchmade Sans box. That means without in Latin, just so you know. Got a plastic baggie. We have a Benchmade microfiber pouch, but no box. This is the 565-1 Mini Freek. It's almost super, but the blade's not M4, so it can't be super. It does have beautiful satin finished 3D machine carbon fiber scales, ambidextrous tip-up parkerized split arrow clip, red hard anodized aluminum standoffs and thumb studs, axis lock mechanism, a sweet saber ground spear, we'll call it, in CPM S90V, beautifully stonewashed, blade length 3 inches, handle 4 1/16. Axis lock mechanism, locks up rock solid, phosphor bronze washers. We'll call that action perfect. It's beautiful. Centering, bang on. Near mint in pouch, no box. This model currently available for a web retail of $340. Benchmade map price. Your price on this one, though, considerably less. $195 like it is. $220 with my edge. That's the Mini Freek in carbon fiber S90V from Benchmade. Next. You know, this knife hadn't been around that long, but I look at it and I get the same feeling of groundedness and serenity that I get when I look at my old Buck 110. It's from the Benchmade Hunt series. It is the OG Crooked River, the 15080-2. Diamondwood scales, natural hard anodized aluminum bolsters, orange anodized aluminum pivot collars, and an orange G10 backspacer with a parkerized split arrow, ambidextrous tip-up clip, axis lock mechanism, rides on phosphor bronze. Not quite a total free dropper, but plenty good. Not that you really want it to be, right? The blade is a stunning clip point in S30V. 3 15/16 inches in length, 5 5/16 handle, lots of real estate. Condition. I wrote like new in box, but there is a little dirt on the orange backspacer. That's about it. Which orange G10 gets dirty. Anyhow, these are available new for $320 online price. This one, $190 like it is, $210 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Crooked River from Benchmade. Next up, we have another Benchmade Hunt Series knife. This is the 15062 Grizzly Creek. It's got a little party trick too. So we got all diamond wood for the scales. That is a laminated product, and it looks like mahogany. I could be wrong. I know that Packawood is mahogany. I'm not sure about diamond wood. Again, orange G10 backspacer, orange anodized aluminum pivot collars, ambidextrous tip up. No! What the heck? Right hand tip up, parkerized split arrow clip. I wonder if they did that because of access to the gut hook. Perhaps they did. Yep. Axis lock mechanism. Stonewashed spear point blade in S30V with 2 runs of jimping, just in case you're working like that and you need an index point for your index finger. Axis lock locks up perfect. Not free dropping, but nice action. Rock solid lockup and beautiful centering. Condition, we will say like new in box. Available new for $275 web retail. This one we will sell for $175 like it is. $195 if you'd like it with my edge, and next day sharpening is available. That's the Grizzly Creek from Benchmade. Next up, we have a Benchmade Bugout. I don't think I've ever seen one of before. Model number 535BK-08. We have light gray. Well, they call it storm gray. Grivery scales. And then we have a Cerakoted blade in a color they call cobalt. I don't know why. It's more like a speckly charcoal, but anyway. Blade is S30V. Blade length 3 3/16, handle 4 3/16. Pocket clip. Parkerized shorty deep carry ambidextrous tip up. All the hardware is black. Bugout blades are so light, they rarely drop free, but this one's eminently flingable. Action's beautiful. Lockup is rock solid. Centering, well, it's awful close to perfect. That works so well. Condition on the Bugout, we'll say like new in box. You can buy this model brand new at your favorite Benchmade online dealer for $200 plus tax. This one, let's go $135 like it is. $155 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Bugout gray in S30V from Benchmade. Next up, I guess, I don't even know that I need to talk about this knife at all. We've sold a bunch of them over the years. I've reviewed them. I own one. I love it. It's a blue class Benchmade. The model number is 560BK-1. It's a Freek, but it's not just a Freek. She's a super freak. Super freak. She's super freaky. There's that. There's that. There's that. There's that. There are those. And then there's that. Oh. CPM M4. Black Cerakote. Rock solid. And then there's that. Condition. I gotta call it like new in box. Do I have any evidence? No, I don't have any lint. I don't know. Yeah, you can buy them new, $280 plus tax at your favorite Benchmade online knife dealer. This one, it's about as perfect as it gets. Your price $200 like it is $225 with my edge. The Super Freak from Benchmade. Next up. One of these days, I'm going to snag one of these and keep it, but not today. From Benchmade, it is the model 490. This is the second name, the Arcane. The first name was the Amicus. I don't know why. There must have been some kind of a trademark infringement. They had to change it with, I don't know who it was with, but anyway. Super cool gents folder. So the handle is black, hard anodized aircraft grade aluminum. The pocket clip is a tumble polished deep carry ambidextrous tip up clip. It's an axis lock mechanism. This is a safety because it's an axis assist flipper. Look how low profile the flipper is. You just slide your finger. It's not hard to flip. You don't have to worry about, is it a light switch or a push button? You just sweep and out it comes. Low pressure. Gorgeous spear point blade with a little swedge, S90V. 3 1/4 blade, 4 9/16 handle. Beautiful in the hand. Great letter opener. Great Sunday go to meeting knife. And let's see. I can't close it if the safety's on, and I'm sure I can't open it. Let's see. Put the safety on. Cannot open. Okay, safety off. Let's see. Rock solid lockup. You saw the action several times. And the centering is very, very close. Yeah, maybe it's not that. Yeah, it's almost right on the seam. Anyway, it's close. I'm going to call it like new in box, although it's been around a while by the looks of the box. These are discontinued, not a stock. When they were available at a MAP price online retail of $230. Sold listings on eBay are all over the place. There was an absolute turd that sold for $107. And then there was one that sold for $316. This one, $150 like it is, $175 with my edge. That is the $490 Arcane from Benchmade. Next, let's see, is this? It's not our last Benchmade, but it's our last Benchmade for a while. Black box. The 3400 BK Autocrat. So loosely based on the design of the Infidel, this was designed to be lighter and less hard on trousers. It is scaled in 3D machined and satin finished G10. I like this little detail right here. So it's ambidextrous pocket clip, deep carry, and whichever side is not wearing the clip has these little milled grooves. So if you're extracting it from the pocket, your skin's going to catch on those. Beautiful job without it being super aggressive. The hardware on the Autocrat is sapphire PVD coated. Pretty cool. I would assume that's stainless steel. The button, I bet, is aluminum hard anodized. Just guessing. The blade, look at that. It's in S30V. It is a double-edged blade with an edge that is chisel ground. Not the primary bevels. Those are 4 separate grinds, but the edge grind is chisel. Blade length is 3 11/16. The handle 5 1/16. I told you the clip's ambidextrous. Let's see, button effort. I'll call it medium firm. Reliability, 100%. Near mint, inbox. Currently available at your favorite Benchmade retailer for $525. That's too high. Let's go $325 on this one. No need to sharpen. On the Autocrat OTF from Benchmade. Next, this is a cool knife. You know, it's kind of like, that knife is cool. I think for the same reason this one is cool. This one's a Spyderco. It's the Pattadese. Is this made in Italy? It is. Of course it is. You have some dried out from sitting, because it's not been in anybody's hand, crowned satin finished black G10 scales. You got an ambidextrous tip-up deep carry wire clip. The knife opens with a hole. Look at that. That's quite an interesting Italian spear point, isn't it? So let's see. Sal Glesser designed this knife. Blade's M390. Blade length is 3 3/16. The handle's 4 1/16. Very efficient blade to handle. Beautifully crafted stainless steel liner lock. Everything just beautiful. Great lock engagement. Rock solid. I think that's on phosphor bronze. Yeah. Blade centering be perfect. Let's see. Does it flick? You bet it does. One ergonomic little, I don't know. In order to get to the liner, you got to be all the way back in the relief for the hole. It's kind of, it takes a pretty good shove to release it. Not going to do that by accident. All squared away. Near mint to like new in box. These are available right now at 2 different websites on clearance. One of them at $155, one of them at $158. So let's offer this one at $120. All in, shipped priority mail, $140 with my etch. That's the Pattadese from Spyderco. Next up, we have reached the point in tonight's sale video for the Rob's Pick. The Rob's Pick is a knife that is invisible to my early birds who get their list at 8 o'clock in the morning on Thursday. It's the knife I pick out of the inventory for a given week that I think is a great buy and a super cool knife. And I want to reserve it for all the guys who tune in at 9, who don't pay their $30 a month to get an early bird list. Because it keeps things fresh. It's a Spyderco. It is a Kapara. But it's an S90V and it has Burlap micarta scales. Huh. I didn't look. Did they make this for one retailer or was it just a sprint? It's an exclusive for Knife Center. Okay. And check this baby. That is so cool. I mean, so cool. Nice, smoothly finished burlap, but not polished. Kind of a satin finish. Still get the old red G10 backspacer, which I think still looks great, even in this configuration. Pocket clip ambidextrous tip up deep carry wire. The knife is so fresh, it still has the little plastic disc sticker underneath the pocket clip so it doesn't mar the burlap, just in case you want to switch the clip over. I don't know what you call that. Is it a modified Warncliffe? Is it a flat-bellied spear? I don't know. I do know that it's in beautifully satin finished M390. The blade length is 3 9/16. The handle's 4 11/16. A compression lock mechanism. Blade, I think, that rides on phosphor bronze. Beautiful action. I mean, beautiful. Centering is beautiful. Lockup is beautiful. I called the centering very, 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 very close, but it might be called perfect. I don't know. You tell me. It is like new in box. They're gone. They're discontinued and out of stock. When they were available, they were $255 at Knife Center. Let's see. Country knives. It seems like they're out of, I don't know if they still have them or have one or they just sold out. But anyway, Country Knives offered these for $345 after they sold out at Knife Center. Sold listings on eBay range between $280 and $450. How about we go $250 on this one? $275 with an Apostle PH. That is a super cool Spyderco. The Kapara in Burlap and S90V. Next, we got a little run of Spydercos, so settle in, boys. This is a paramilitary too. That is not DBLG10. It's Burple. It's not dark blue. It's Burple and an S110V blade. See, I told you it's Burple. This one's so fresh, nobody's moved the clip yet. There's your S110V blade. 3.5 inch blade, long blade for I measured it 3.5 inches. Most of them are about 3 7/16. So the sharpener got it right the first time at the factory and didn't have to remove much tip as he went. The handle's 4 13/16. That's a compression lock, of course. It's beautifully near free dropping, and it's perfectly centered. Lockup is rock solid. Like new in the box. Current web retail, these have crept up. Gulp, $254, are you kidding me? Let's do $160 on this one, $185 sharpened. That's the pair 2 in Burple and S110V. What's that? You like a dark blue paramilitary too, but you don't want to pay that much? Well, I think we got you. We got you covered. This is a paramilitary 2 with cobalt blue scales, and I'll buy that color description. And a Spy 27 blade. That's cobalt blue. No factory pocket clip. We just have just one of them, junk Casey Lynch titanium deep carry clips. You guys probably all like that better anyway, wouldn't you? There's your Spy 27 blade. This was a pretty long blade too. About 3.5 inches, 4 13/16 handle, compression lock. Rock solid, rides on phosphor bronze washers. Ooh. And perfect. We'll call it near mint in box. Clip swap noted. This model is available new at your favorite Spyderco retailer for $199 plus tax. I think, even with the Lynch clip, this is a much better deal at $130. That's your price. $150 with an ApostleP edge, and next day sharpening is available. The pair 2 in Cobalt and Spy 27. Time to turn the page. Next up, we have a Spyderco, and it is a pair of 3, and it is in crew wear. And I think the blade actually went in this box when it was new, but it's kind of a Franken blade because, as you can see, the blade is in CPM crew wear. But here are the factory scales. That's brown or flat dark earth G10. To my knowledge, Spyderco never made a crew wear pair of 3 with FDE or brown G10. One of those scales now on the floor. But it doesn't matter because it's wearing, I think these were offered by Smoky Mountain. I don't remember. But basically, blue and black marbled carbon fiber. And this is cool. It kept the lefty clip mount, just in case you want it. This is wearing a Lynch black titanium deep carry clip. Blade is DLC coated crew wear. 2 15/16 blade. 4 5/16 handle. Compression lock, of course. Free dropping. Solid locking. Centered rocking. We will call this near mint in box as modded, right? I have no idea. It got to be worth $150. Got to be. That's your price. $170 with my edge, and next day sharpening is available. That'll be in your inventory as Spyderco pair 3 tan DLC crew wear plus custom scales. Next up. More Spidey. More modern. We got a Yojimbo 2 with a 20 CV blade and tan G10 scales. But again, we just couldn't leave well enough alone. This knife is wearing some Putnam sort of fine anso pattern, OD green, canvas micarta scales. Got your tumble polished clip that's going to be one position as scaled, 4 positions if you use the standard scales. Oh, misfire. That's what little Bill said. The blade is 20 CV, 3 1/4, handle 4 7/16. Now I sharpened this, and at the request of the customer some time ago, we put a little sharpening choil in. Now most of the run of my edge is still good, but he did something to the tip, and you'll see it's been retouched up. Not that he lost it. I think he just might have got a little roll. It's still got a pointy tip, but anyway. I wouldn't sharpen it yet, but you might want me to. Let's see. The lockup is rock solid. The action is free dropping. Now see, yesterday I wrote perfect centering, but as I'm looking at it today, I don't know. It's awful close. We'll call it near mint, wrong box. Your price $185 like it is $205 if I resharpen. That is the Spyderco Yojimbo 2 10 and 20 CV plus custom scales. Next up, I know I teased you about this yesterday. It's a Spyderco. It's a native 5. So this is the River's Edge Cutlery exclusive native 5 with OD green G10 scales. And they call this flat dark earth, they call it flat dark earth PVD. It doesn't look flat dark earth to me. And a 204P blade. And you know, I'm sorry to my early birds, but I wrote crew wear in the description. I will remedy that for you 9 o'clockers. So here's the knife. Gorgeous colorway. The OD, the flat dark earth, and the black hardware just work and play so well together. There is your River's Edge Cutlery poker chip, N5 for native 5. So it's a native, and it's a native midlock. So, and a pretty strong back spring. But it's got the bushing pivot from knives like the Paramilitary 2. And, who else has that? Does the Shaman have that? I think so. So you can adjust it down pretty tight, not get any blade play, still have a nice free blade. Not a great flicker because of the Walmart hole location, right? And the strong back spring, but you can see the blade is very free with the spring tension released. Lockup is dead rock solid. Centering is right on the money. The condition is near mint in box, very close to like new. I'm not sure why I didn't call it that. Does it have... I don't see any lint. Do you guys see any lint? Anyway. They're discontinued, not a stock. Sold listings on eBay. Range between $216 and $279. Let's go 200 on this one. 220 with my edge, the native 5. OD FDE 204P from Spyderco. Next. Oh boy. Guys, if this knife had a box, it would be $25 more. It doesn't. It has this generic pouch. It's my favorite ZT ever. It's the 640. And I don't know if you can see this, but actually, my viewfinder is showing it up well. These are the original scales, but apparently this owner didn't like green. So they went in a dye bath, and the green in some lights looks black, but in this light, it looks blue. It's wearing a titanium deep carry pocket clip, ambidextrous tip up. Is that an MXG? I think. So I love the 640. You have the Emerson designed Gentleman Jim blade. I think the handle came from a model called the Viper. Is that right? But there's history, right? Back in the day when Benchmade was the OEM for Emerson, they kind of stole the handle shape, didn't they? And put it on their 710 McHenry Williams. So there's some Kershaw ZT lineage because they're the maker. There's some Emerson lineage because they're the designer. And then there's a Benchmade tie-in. So it's like the best of everything. And it's a beautiful knife. Rides on phosphor bronze. Opens with a thumb disc. And this is wearing a titanium monster disc, by the way. No original included. It is a steel inserted titanium frame lock with the carbon fiber overlays, I'll call them. It's too robust to call that a liner lock, I think. Blade length is 3 3/4. The handle's 4 3/4. The lockup is dead rock solid. The action is beautiful. And the centering is perfect. I'm going to call it near mint, no box. These knives have gone crazy in the market since they've been discontinued. And this is so tastefully modded. Let's go 250 like it is 275 with an ApostleP edge. The ZT 0640, and it'll say plus custom bits. Next, we have a new player to the ZT party. First one of these I've had in hand. It's the ZT 0044 original. I'm not sure what, I know what TI means. I'm not sure what CBB means. It is in S45VN. Pretty cool little knife. It almost, in profile, reminds me of the old ZT Rexford. The second one, the small one. I can't remember which one it was. But anyway, you got bead blasted titanium scales. You got kind of a shorty, but not quite, black deep carry clip that's ambidextrous tip up. It is a button lock. And notice the one standoff and the button collar are both like aqua anodized. Cool pivot. It'll be a ball bearing flipper. Got a nice swedge drop point blade in S45VN with that ZT grinder satin. Blade length is 3 1/4, handles 4 3/8. Rock solid button lock lockup. Super free ball bearing action. Perfectly centered blade. Condition like new in the box. This model is currently available for $340 web retail. Your price $225 like it is. $250 if you like it with an ApostleP edge. Next day sharpening is available. That's the 0044 original from ZT. Next, I teased you about this yesterday. This is from Tactile. No box, just the polybag Ziploc variety. It's the coolest Tactile I've ever seen. You know, generally, Tactile knives have a bit of a boring appearance. Not this one. This is the Maverick. The colorway is the Vice Seasonal Splatter pattern. And it's all done in Cerakote. So you got your normal titanium Maverick handle with that fine mill pattern. Then you got a black base with kind of a hot pink splatter, purple pivot. I'm not sure what the thumb studs are made of, but they look like a polymer of some kind. In turquoise, and then an orange pocket clip. The blade, what you're used to seeing, right? CPM MagnaCut, gorgeous drop point with a swedge. 3.5 blade, 4 11/16 handle. Rock solid lockup. Riding on phosphor bronze. with a crossbar lock. The handle's grade 5 titanium, they want you to know. Perfect mechanics. There looks like there's some soiling on those studs, but otherwise it's like new. Anywho. Available new for $260. I'm sorry. Discontinued, out of stock. Wrong line. Sorry about that. When these were available, they were gulp $449 web retail. I can't find one for sale or recently sold anywhere. Your price $350 like it is $375 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Tactile Maverick, the Vice Pattern Seasonal. Next, Demco time. This knife is the AD 20.5 in 20 CV, blue handle, in G10 with a clip point blade. I'm calling it periwinkle. That'd be like light purple, right? Dark purple, light purple. Periwinkle. Look it up. Old color name. Anyway, it is a Shark Lock AD 20.5 Periwinkle G10. Ambidextrous tip up pocket clips. The lefty clip is in the box. Shark Lock mechanism. You can open it with a stud. Whoops. You can open it with the lock. It's a flinger. It's on ball bearings. You got a gorgeous clip point blade with a Skagel slot in 20 CV. Blade length, 3 3/16, handle 4 7/16. Rock solid lockup. Superb action. Perfect centering. Like new in the box. You can buy this knife brand new at your favorite Demco dealer online. It'll just cost you $265 plus tax. Or buy this one. $180 all in, shipped priority mail. $205 if you'd like it to have my edge. Next day sharpening available if you're one of the first 4. Next, it's Microtech time. Note, this is a Microtech box, but it has no label. So it must have been a warranty return box or something. Service box, I don't know. Here's the knife. It's the 122-10 DBK Ultratech Double Edge. DBK stands for Distressed Black. I wonder why they would call it that. That is the factory finish, boys and girls. The clip will give you your serial number and birth date. Serial number is 202034. Born May of 21. The blade is that sexy double-edged Microtech blade in M390. Blade length 3 5/16. The handle's 5 inches. You got a carbide blast breaker over your clip bolt. And you can flip that clip, guys, if you're a lefty. Ask me how I know. Button effort, medium firm. Reliability, 100%. So, condition, it's always looked like that. So, I guess near mint, wrong box. Out of stock at $325 web retail. Let's go $220 on this one. Like it is, no need to sharpen. The Ultratech double-edged distressed black from Microtech. Next, another Microtech. This one not an automatic. It is a Stitch Ramlock single edge with the frag pattern black G10 stonewashed combo edge blade. Model 169RL-11 FRG TBK. I know you guys love the Stitch. Nice work. Ramlock mechanism, which is a lot like the cartridge type axis lock that Benchmade put in the Anthem. So, opens with a hole. The blade is very interesting. longer than it looks. 3 5/8 inches of M390 MK. Pretty usable run of plain edge. That combo edge is just about 50-50. Rock solid lockup, on ball bearing, pivot. Ambidextrous deep carry, tip up, pocket clip with fill tab. Serial number, I didn't write it down, 489. It was born June of 23. Let's see if I can get that for you. How's the centering? Huh. Apparently Microtech knows how to make a knife. This model is available new for a web retail price of $310. This one is near mint in box. Let's go $225 like it is. $245 with my edge. The frag pattern ramlock stitch from Microtech. Next, we have, I think, just one interloper from China this week. It's a Civivi. It's a button lock Elementum, model Charlie 2103 DS-3 in marbled carbon fiber with the black hand-rubbed Damascus blade. Pretty cool knife. Very dressy with that marbled carbon fiber. Pocket clip, ambidextrous tip-up deep carry in black. Button lock mechanism. And there's no thumb stud and there's no flipper. You just push the button and fling. That's all. No muss, no fuss. There's your sexy swedged spear point in that hand-rubbed Damascus. Not a small blade, 3.5 inches. Handle 4.5. Lockup is rock solid. Action is perfect on the ball bearings. I called that centering very, very close. I don't know, you guys might see it perfect. Near mint to like new in box, available new for $107 web retail. Let's go $75 on this one. $95 with an TheApostleP edge. The Elementum button lock in marbled carbon fiber and Damascus from Civivi. Next, it's Emerson time. Here we go. Mini CQC7B SF in green G10. What a great looking Emerson. Not OD, not Ranger green. I don't know what we'd call it. Just call it green. Look at that. Right hand tip up or down. Pocket clip. Opens with a disc. You got a beautifully bead blasted blade in 154 cm Tonto. The milled facets of the Emerson Tonto are so gorgeous. Nothing on the back. It's all chisel ground. Blade length is 2 7/8. The handle's 4 3/16. It is a titanium liner lock, locking up right there. Perfectly so. Little tiny bit of Emerson stick. And a perfectly centered blade, although you can't really tell by looking at the tip. You got to come back to about there. But it is. Condition is like new in the box. They are gone. And I don't think you can buy a new one even from Emerson in the green. I do know this. Arizona Custom Knives just sold one of these for $350. Let's do 170 on this one. 195 with my edge. The Mini CQC7 in green G10 from Emerson. Next. What's that? You like that knife, but you want something a little bigger? And maybe green isn't your color? Well, here you go. I have a CQC7B with the wave. Yes, I do. In the standard black. Phillips head screws. Black clip, right hand tip up. Yeah. Black blade, 154 cm. 3 3/16 inches is your blade length. The handle's 4 11/16. Blade rides on Nylotron washers. Opens with a disc or a wave. Titanium liner lock, locking up right there. Rock solid. A little bit of Emerson stick. We like that stick. And again, the blade is much more centered than it looks. It's almost perfect, actually. We'll call it near mint in box. This model is currently out of stock, and it might be discontinued. I'm not sure why. I think they're just doing something different with the CQC7. Anyhow, when they were available, they were $245 web retail. Let's go $160 on this one, $185 if you'd like it with my edge. The CQC7B-BT, or I'm sorry, just BT. Next, we got one from Almar. From Almar, from back in the day, when Almar was still Almar. This is the Nomad, numbered 079 of 200. There we go. Black G10 scales. Right hand tip down pocket clip. Stainless steel liner lock. And that very interesting spear point blade. There's your number 79 of 200. Bladed in VG10. Made in Seki City, Japan. Rex wrote design. Blade length's 2 15/16. The handle's 4 1/4. Lockup is rock solid. I think it's riding on Teflon. It is. You know, hold on a minute. Talk amongst yourselves, boys and girls. I think the pivot is just a little loose. The centering, not quite perfect. It's going to favor the bottom side as you're looking at it. Condition, near mint, in box, discontinued and out of stock. So I found 2 sold listings for this knife. One sold at Arizona Custom Knives for $195, and one sold on eBay. Hard to believe this. Maybe some money laundering involved. Sold for $399 shipped. Your price for this one, $160 like it is. $180 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Nomad from Almar. Next up, we have some rarefied air, highly collectible old Spydercos and Benchmades. Look at that box. This is the Howard, I don't know how you say that, Veely model C42P. This knife made between 1996 and 1999. It's going to be a stainless steel liner lock knife with, on the show side, the scale relieved to show off that satin finished liner. The scales are black linen micarta. It's a right-hand tip-down clip. And notice the pinned construction, including the pivot. There's your blade. What is that, a California clip? Very interesting. It's an Aus 8, Japanese-produced knife. The liner lock, it's over there a ways, but it's rock solid. I do not know. It seems like those are Teflon washers, but I cannot be sure. Centering, is going to favor the top side as you're looking at it. Very smooth and positive. The blade length is 3 7/16, and the handle's 4.5. Very near mint in box. Price references. So I found a sold listing on eBay for $308, and I found one that was sort of a user and did not have a box, and it sold for $160. So let's do $195 on this one. $195 like it is. $215 with an ApostleP edge on the C42P, designed by Howard Viele from Spyderco. Next, another one. Looky here. Looky here. Guys, that box is fresh. 1998. This is the Wegner Jr. model C49 GP from Spyderco. What a cutie. So black G10, and it looks like it had that almost coarse cold steel pattern, but it's smoothed. Stainless steel liner lock. Kind of a Spidey spear blade in ATS 34. 2 15/16 blade, 3 13/16 handle. It is a stainless steel liner lock. Rides on phosphor bronze. Opens with a hole. Centering on this one. Getting a lot of glare there, but it's perfect. Small hole. I don't think it's much of a flicker. I think it's a sweeper. Pretty cool. Let's see. They made these in 97 and 8. Found one sold listing on eBay, did 180. Found one sold listing on Arizona Custom Knives, sold for $285. Your price for this one, $150 like it is, $170 with my edge. The C49 GP Wegner Jr. from Spyderco. Next up, here's an interesting knife. Didn't know existed. From Heckler & Koch. It's the Benchmade produced 14200S drop point, or the HK34 FDC, depending on where you buy it, I guess. If it's in a gun store, that's probably your model number. If it's on Blade HQ, that's probably your model number. But given the style of box, it's a few years old. Mike Snowdy designed. So, interesting knife. We have an axis lock mechanism. I couldn't remember if it was assisted or not. A combo edge spear point blade in 154 cm with a bead blast. The bolsters are gray hard anodized aluminum. The scales are craton or something like that. The pocket clip is a Parkerized split arrow, tip up ambidextrous. The blade length is 3 7/16. The handle's 4.5. Not quite a free dropper, but beautiful. Rock solid lockup. And apparently back in 2006, Benchmade could center a blade because it's perfect. That's when it was made, around 2006. That's a pretty cool knife. Let's see, discontinued and out of stock. The only price reference I could find is a current listing, a knife available for sale on eBay. As long as you don't mind paying the buy it now price of $350 shipped, you could buy it. Or just buy this one. All in, shipped priority mail, $175 like it is, $195 with my edge. The H&K by Benchmade, Snowdy, drop point. Beautiful. More classic Benchmade awesomeness. This is the Warren Osborne design 670 apparition with optimizer. What does that mean? Well, I'm going to show you what it means. Interesting knife. Look at that. A file-worked backspacer? But that backspacer does something interesting. Look at what comes out of the backspacer. That's not the blade. That is a torsion bar. The scales are milled polymer. They look like milled Bakelite. I'm not sure what the material is. It's hard. Rat tail stainless steel bolsters. Right hand tip down split arrow clip. Knife opens with thumb studs. Watch this. What? Yeah. That is one of the most robust spring assist mechanisms I've ever seen. Look at that. It's free till there. So all that tension on that torsion bar is built in 90 degrees. And man, does it come out. Super, super cool. 154 cm blade. There's your Osborne maker's mark. The blade length is 3 9/16. The handle is 4 3/8. It is a stainless steel liner lock. Very interesting design on that liner lock, by the way. Almost like a traditional with the liner lock going over the tang of the blade. Interesting. Rock solid. In the center. So, let's see. We will call this very near mint inbox, early 2000s manufacture. Pricing reference is kind of hard for these, but I did find one. Actually found a couple. One sold listing on eBay, one at Arizona. Both sold for $195. Let's do $175 on this one. $195 with my edge. That is the 670 apparition from Benchmade. And that, my friends, brings us to the last knife in tonight's sale. Another Benchmade. It's the 707 sequel. Oh! So it's kind of a mini 710, but I think it's the sequel to one that was called 705. Is that right? So clearly a 710 profile, but the scales are black hard anodized aluminum with some black G10 inlays. Pocket clip, Parkerized split arrow, ambidextrous tip up. Mechanism is an axis lock. The blade runs on, I can't remember. I think phosphor bronze. Maybe some early ones were nylitron, but not this one. So you got that very McHenry Williams blade, 154 cm, 2 15/16 inches in length, 4 13/16. I'm sorry, 3 13/16 handle. Lockup is rock solid. Action not quite free dropping, but beautiful. Centering, perfect. Very, very, very near mint in box. Long discontinued, not a stock. Sold listings on eBay range between $200 and $230 for this knife. Let's go $195 on this one, $215 with an TheApostleP edge. Next day sharpening is available. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of another weekly knife sale on the TheApostleP channel. Hope you enjoyed it. I did. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Now commence to clicking. I'll talk to you soon.